machine gunners are a bunch of good guys. I mean, most of them are meatheads, but they're good at their job, so I would trust them to do it. So when they started firing, I could feel the concussion of the weapon from the rounds coming out of it, so I just kind of laid lower and just kind of relaxed and was thinking about, like, man, this is gonna suck. It's like, I hope I don't get shot in the ass, because how would I explain that to my mom? I mean, that was my main concern. Well, not main concern, but it's one of the concerns.
Oh, did you were you still offering suppressive fire at that time?
When the gun trucks rolled up, I ceased fire.
How many gun trucks were there?
There was 4 gun trucks and 1 ambulance.
Oh, okay. So when they showed up, that was a lot of fire.
Yeah, they packed some major assets. So basically, when they started firing, it kind of gave me a second to catch my breath. I kind of got low for a second, did what I had to do, like reloaded my weapon, let them suppress, and they ceased fire, rolled out the casualties, and by that time I started picking up my rates of fire, covering, because Corporal Heath told me they were coming back. Stuff started slowing down around us. Like, they realized that they weren't going to get us, so they kind of started, you know, getting out of the area because they didn't want to mess with us anymore. We had Kilo Company come in. They actually moved through 440 and started headed east, and we're to our north, and started helping relieve pressure on us. Corporal Heath and everybody moved back to the south side of the railroad tracks, and I was still here. And my platoon sergeant, Gunner St. Pierre, started yelling. He's like, "Where the hell is Ruckel?" And started yelling. And I started, you know, I'm right here, and raising my leg up so he could see me without exposing myself too much. And he pokes his head up over the fucking wall, and this other guy named Law, he's from Vietnam, was a saw gunner, pokes his head up and he goes, "I found him." And Gunny's like, "What the hell are you doing over there?" I was like, "I was told to stay and suppress. You know, he's, get your ass back over here, we're leaving." I was like, "Roger." And I run, jump over the side of the ditch, kind of did a half-ass combat roll, fall down the hill thing, set back up, and my buddy Robbins was right there, and he looks at me, he's like, "Dude, where have you been?" I was like, "Oh, you know, just working." He goes, "Huh?" He goes, "Okay, you ready to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're good." So we picked up and started moving along the ditch.
I was gonna say, wasn't there your squad leader was still on the other side of the berm too?
No, they had all come back over. Like Corporal Heath and all them had pushed back, and when they pushed back, I was still here.
Okay.
And
so did you have to stop firing when they were coming over, or?
Yeah, I stopped fire because I wasn't too sure where they were, because I knew they had been moving around. So I kind of ceased fire for a second, and they ran behind me, except for Lance Corporal Smith. As he kind of ran up the hill, he's like, "Ruckel, I'm a friendly, don't shoot," and kind of did this like sprawling jump over me and landed and ran back to the ditch. And then, like, about a minute later, that's when Gunny started looking for me.
Okay. That's when everyone was gathering behind you.
Yeah,
they just assumed you were going to follow them, but your last order was to...
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things, like, I wasn't too sure if I should move or not, because I didn't want to risk getting hit by my own units. So I stayed put and was waiting for the go ahead, it's clear, we got you, and we'll pull back.
Okay. So your last order was still suppressive fire, so you were still...
Right.
Oh, okay.
Everybody consolidated in the ditch, everybody reloaded, you know, dished out ammo for those of us who were out of ammo, you know, help out, and like, "Hey, here's a mag here, here's a mag here, you know, here's another belt." And that way, so we can continue the fight. We started moving east along the trench, and we were in what's called ranger file. Ranger file is when you're like single file, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, all in a row, and you basically walk in each other's footsteps. We got got a little bit further, and everybody faced north, and we were doing what's called movement to contact. That's where you walk online, everybody facing north in a, you know, online sweeping motion, and you keep moving until you initiate contact, or they initiate contact.
So you're all going down the ditch like you were in line, and when the order was given, y'all just faced left to the railroad track and walked over.
Right.
Okay.
And we moved across the railroad track down to the other side of the ditch, set up. Kilo Company, you know, stayed here, and we were here, and so we had, angles of fire on the house that we wanted to. And there was a fence here going around the compound a little bit. It was like, it wasn't a compound, it was like, a row of houses, another row of houses, probably about 3 rows of houses. And we're sitting there, and I got my team leader looked at me and he goes, hey, Ruckel, go get that fence down. So me and Lance Corporal LeBrec, who was my rifleman from 3rd Team, we go run up there. He set up security, and I jump on the fence to knock it down. Kind of like World War II, take down the fence style, and set up my saw, which was on a main avenue of approach. It was a open road that would be more covered by a saw than anything. And then the rest of the platoon came up, made through the breach, and we started systematically clearing the houses from west to east.
Oh, you shut it real quick again?
We started clearing the houses from west to east.
Okay.
So,
okay.
We really didn't find anything by too many people by that time. We found a couple guys that are shady, not too sure, so we detained them and took them back to base with us because wanted them for questioning, because they were they would have black pants on, but it's easy to take off a shirt, and the guy was of a military age, which is anywhere from 13 to 65. And if they're able to fight, they don't care. They want you to fight.
Okay.
And he claimed the whole time that he was like, "Oh, I was sleeping," which is pretty much what we got the whole time. We'd go in the house and we'd ask them where the bad guys were, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know, I was sleeping." And we're like, "Mortars landed 20 meters away from your house, and you were sleeping." So we know that they're lying, and so we would detain the guys of military age to question them.
Okay.
And see what they knew.
So at that time, you cleared out those row of houses. Where did y'all, the platoon, go from there?
From there, we ended up going all the way there, and
all the way to the end of the row of houses?
All the way to the end of the row of the houses, cleared them all. And by that point, the sun had started going down, and fights kind of dying down. They were still fucking...
The sun sets what? At this time of the year in Hussein, about what time?
About 17:30.
Okay, 17.
Anywhere in around there.
And that's 5:30.
Yeah, 5:30. We got the order to go ahead and RTV, which is return to base. So we picked up, started moving out, and we came along the row of houses, headed south, got in the ditch again, came up, we basically retraced our steps and moved back to base.
Okay. Anything significant happened during that time?
Not really. On the way back, it gets dark really fast, and so it was dark, and we held firm down here for a minute. What seemed like a minute, but it was probably longer than that. But we were sitting there. It was basically like a security halt where you stop, check stuff out, make sure that we didn't leave anything behind from when we were there fighting previously, and we had all needed to fix our MVGs and put them on our weapons and on our helmets and stuff.
Oh, so y'all were repairing in case y'all need to go fight that night in town.
Our night vision goggles, we're fixing them to our weapons. My saw has a pair of 17s, which is a night scope for the 17. It has a little red laser dot that you look through, so you're able to aim with the saw at night.
So I understand at that time there really wasn't enough night vision goggles to go around.
Yes, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Most team leaders and above had what's known as 14s, which is a monocule night vision device. It goes over your non-dominant eye.
Okay.
And then we have what's called as 7 Bravos, which is a pair of goggles that goes over both eyes and goes down into a single vision. And then for the saw gunners, you have a night vision scope, which is the 17s.
Okay, so you didn't even have night vision goggles; you just had a scope.
I just had a scope.
Okay. So y'all just got back to what is Camp Huseba. You're getting ready for the fight that night, did y'all go out that night?
Well, after we moved back to base, it was pretty much said and done because the next day we were gonna have to sweep the city.
Okay.
So they wanted us to get some food and some rest.
All right. Well, we're down to 4 minutes of the tape. Is there anything that perhaps we have left out from the 17th that you would like to share?
No, it pretty much covers it.
Okay. Like I said, once again, you know, during of course I've never been in combat or anything, but I understand that there's like a particular really vivid memories at one point or another. Was there anything like that? Like they said, sight or smell or anything that you recall that reminds you of the 17th?
No, there's no flashbacks. I mean, every once in a while there's somebody drop something and you think it's a gunshot, so you duck and cover, and it just reminds you that you still got to move. So
okay, that's good.
It's good.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, and we will definitely archive this one. Once again, the interviewer is Doug Halpaska, and we interviewed Sergeant Ruckel.